You are now listening to WSN Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
Home of the hottest takes and the best interviews in college radio.
Hold on, wait a minute. We need a little more energy. This is Sports Pack. Yeah, there we go.
Home of the hottest takes and debates.
There is no way I'm going to sit here and roll with Jared Stidham and Aiden O'Connell.
Richard.
There's just no way.
And the best interviews in college radio.
This is five-time Olympic medalist Alana Myers-Taylor.
This is Super Bowl champion quarterback Brad Johnson, and you're listening to Sports Pack on the Wolf Sports Network.
And the Wolves play here.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Thursday edition of Sports Pack. I am your host, Richard Reed, joined by Carly Pear, Jackson Schrader, and John Howley over here killing it on the board. Also, shout out to my guy, Andrew Jefferson, who's holding it down behind the glass on the TriCaster, controlling these elaborate camera angles. You can check him out every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Sports Out of Pocket.
Huge Florida fan, I heard.
Yeah, I heard he's a pretty big Florida fan. He had on a Gators hoodie the other day. Hey, shout out to you. They just won a national title. But we have a jam-packed sports pack, as always, with some UWG athletics. What else we got on here? MLB, NFL, because we are 1 week away from the draft. And also, play-in games are going on, and the official NBA playoff starts this Saturday. We got a lot to get into, but before we get started, let me let you know something. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign, reminding you that there is no drinking under the age of 21, to never drink and drive even if it was only one beer, and to always add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide new or gently used books to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Once again, that is wolfradio.com/book drive. Now let's talk some West Georgia athletics.
Is Widener rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
Yep. And as always, we have a jam-packed day of UWG baseball, weekend of UWG baseball getting started today. But first and foremost, let me let you know something. We had a game this past Tuesday. Our baseball team went on the road to Kennesaw in what was an instant classic where they came up short, losing 9-8, and what was an amazing offensive game. How did y'all feel about that one earlier this week?
I was just heartbroken to see that we just barely lost in we went to 11 extra innings. Yeah.
Jeez.
Lost in 11, 9-8, came down to the wire. I mean, it broke my heart because I was like, yo, we're about to beat Kennesaw State. Like, I was like, there's no way. And honestly, you know what? There was a lot of pitching, but it came down to, let me see if it here. I am trying to find it. It was Mason Phillip coming in for 2 innings, striking out 5 to put us into extra innings. He really showed out. It's one of those bullpen days, and we're just like, hold on. Like, are we really going to win this game? It's a bullpen game. We know what happens. But bullpen showed up. They must have been listening to the show or something. I don't know.
They definitely came through.
But to see us fight to the very, very end with Kennesaw State, put some pride in you there, and that was just heartbreaker at the end.
Both teams had really hot bats, too. I want to say Kennesaw had 12 hits as a team and compared to our 11. I mean, both teams had really hot bats. We had good pitching throughout. Very entertaining game. If it was your first time ever watching baseball, that is one of the games I'll refer you to because it was very entertaining. You saw a great offense mixed with great defense. Even saw some extra innings. They went to 11. But sadly, we came up short, 9-8. Our baseball team will get back in action starting today at 6 p.m. The game actually just started a couple minutes ago against the University of North Florida. It will be a 3-game series with the game at 6 p.m. today, a game Friday at 3, and then rounding out the series Saturday at 1 p.m. I also have a little special tidbit about that series. You'll be able to get updates throughout today's show because, as I said, the game started at 6. Our show started at 6. But we have two great broadcasters representing Wolf Sports Network, Chase Jefferson and Jason Barker, who are currently doing live coverage from the game. So a couple times throughout the show, we're going to toss it over to them, let them catch us up to speed with the game, then get back to Sports Pack. But once Sports Pack is over, be sure to stay tuned if you're listening on radio, and if you are over on the YouTube channel, go over to Wolf Sports Network to tune in through wolfsportsnetwork.com, to listen to the radio version, because the second this show ends, we're throwing it over to Jason and Chase full time to get the rest of the game. You do not want to miss out for that. It's going to be very entertaining, and they are two very, very talented sports broadcasters. You don't want to miss it. Our softball team also has a big-time road series this weekend versus Queens University with a doubleheader on Friday, the first game being at 2 p.m., second game at 4:30. And the end of that series will be Saturday at 12 p.m. We're looking to get back in the win column after losing the series to North Florida last weekend, 2-1. So I'm really looking to see improvement from this softball team this weekend, guys.
Yeah, I mean, just go out there and get a dub, please. 10-30 is not great, so
no, it's not.
Go make it better.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that this team can get some wins, but I'm especially looking forward to their game on Wednesday versus UAB. We're hosting them. My brother went to UAB for undergrad, so UAB has a special place in my heart, so I'm excited to see them come out for a doubleheader here in the City of Dreams.
Sounds like you're rooting for UAB in that game.
I know.
Hey, I have my heart in both places.
House divided. You have I heard you got a little something to tell us about West Georgia golf, correct?
Yes, I do. So our women's golf team just recently competed in the ASUN Championships, and our very own Hannah Barrett, she placed 9th in the ASUN Championships for the individual scoring. So incredible for her, just getting our name out there. I'm not exactly sure how our team did overall. I think we were
not the greatest.
We
not
were
the greatest.
To last.
Yeah,
hey, we
second
weren't
to
last
last.
though. We weren't last.
Hey,
take that.
That is all that matters. You're
Barrett
not the
clutched
last
up for
one.
that.
Yes.
For real.
But good for her, really excited. And our men's golf team is headed to Valdosta next week for their ASUN Championships through Tuesday to Thursday. So very excited for them to see what they do as well.
You know, it's funny that the ASUN Championships for golf are in Valdosta now. And I say that it's funny because Valdosta State isn't in the ASUN conference.
The Gulf South team.
Exactly, but last year, Valdosta State was our arch enemy. That was our biggest rival going out of Valdosta for the Peach Basket. Exactly, but they're still in the GSC. But now we're still getting to visit Valdosta even though we're in the ASUN. It's like we can't escape the ugly ex-girlfriend. We just can't get away.
Look, we get to go to Little Brothers campus and say, hey, we're better than you.
Right,
Simple as that.
We are.
We see your stadium that's 2 miles away from campus. I mean, look, power to you. Y'all enjoy it.
We
Have
are
fun with
one.
it. Like I said, we just can't escape them. But it's all right. I mean, we can still talk about y'all on the show every now and again.
Yeah.
Not too much good coming from it. I mean, y'all ain't getting whooped by us no more, but we still going down to Valdosta to check up, make sure you're all right, check your pulse, see if everything's going all right. How's your family? They doing good? It's whatever. But anyway, John, we got some sports news to talk about, right?
The Dodgers introducing Shohei Ohtani after signing him to a record-breaking contract.
Nick Saban is retiring.
Breaking news on Sports Pack. So much going on, especially it is playoff season for 2 of our major leagues here. We got the NBA playoffs starting this weekend, which we'll talk about later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about the NHL playoffs starting this weekend.
Yeah, we are.
I'm wearing my Colorado Avalanche sweatshirt today in honor of that, so super excited, and that's actually the game. Unbiased, but I really do think that this Avalanche Dallas Stars game this Saturday is going to be one to watch out for. Dallas has always been a big rivalry for us, so I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big series to start out the year because last year it went to 7 in the second round of the playoffs, and then Dallas hit that overtime winner. Game 7 in Colorado
it was very sad
to take Dallas to the conference finals. But I'm really excited for this postseason because there are a lot of teams that you don't often see in this situation, like that have a huge chip on their shoulder. I mean, you got the Ottawa Senators, who have been a team that it's been a while since they've really had any prominence in the league. And then, I mean, you got the Canadians back in there, Montreal. I mean, they've won, 23 Stanley Cup finals. So, yeah, but the league started with 6 teams. So, you know, they were good when it was 6 teams. And then you got my Panthers, man. Like, you got so many teams So many great series. You're looking at the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning. That's a battle of Florida right there. That's a huge rivalry.
That's a rematch from last year's start of the playoffs, right?
It is. Florida took that one in 5, and it was great because like these two teams hate each other to the point where we broke the record for most hits in a NHL game. Period. We had like 150 hits in game 1. So they're gonna start off hot. It's gonna be fun. And if you don't know this about the NHL playoffs, it is some of the most exciting sport you're going to get. It's a fast, physical sport played like harder than it ever is. Like this type of hockey is fast, physical, fun. Like if you watch the Four Nations, that was a small sample size of playoff hockey, which you get for 2 months here. So if you don't watch hockey, like period.
Yeah, I remember in 2022, like right after I graduated high school, the Avalanche was making their way to win their title, and I remember watching it and live in real time. It was so much fun.
You know, Schrader, the NHL needs looking to reaching out to you to be some sort of brand ambassador here at college campuses.
Yes.
Because that sales pitch, that was incredible. 10 out of 10, man. Hats off to you.
I mean, all he had to do this time last year is, hey, can you just turn this game on, watch it? I watched it. Next thing I know, I was like going nuts for the Florida Panthers. As simple as that.
So, like, for a guy like me, it's hard to get me to sit down and actually watch a game of hockey. Like, I watched the Four Nations finale. It was incredible.
Oh exactly.
But hearing that sales pitch, having watched the finale of the Four Nations, hats off to Schrader.
That's just a small sample size. It's so fun.
Yeah, definitely super, super excited for that. So stay tuned this weekend. Also, we're going to be talking about a couple things. Past Monday, we won't be live on Monday. If you are in the Carrollton area, please show up for Wolf Stock. It is Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network Coachella here on campus of West Georgia.
So big time music.
Oh yeah,
yes.
MC Scopes is going to be in the house.
Yes,
y'all got to be there for MC Scopes.
West Georgia talent, local Carrollton talent, West Georgia alumni. You don't want to miss it, man. All kind of different musicians. Like Carly just said, this is our Coachella. This is West Georgia Coachella. Pop out in your best fit. Wear something mischievous if you want to. I mean, get everything going. Show up and show out.
Too. I'm managing that prize table, man.
Yes.
You show up and I know you. I might give you some free prizes.
You want a 360 camera video? I'm there. I'm your guy.
I'm there too.
We got anything you could want. Show up to Wolfstock.
Yes, not sports news, but very important news we had to include in there. So if you're in the area, please show up 6 to 9, the University of West Georgia Campus Center. Moving on to back into some sports news, Lee Corso is retiring. This is so sad. So if you don't know, Lee Corso is the college game day analyst that is known for choosing the mascot heads and putting them on to pick his team for games that day. So it is so sad to hear that he's retiring. He's been a staple of college game day for so long.
I mean, it's gonna be so weird without him.
Yeah,
like college game day without Corso is like it's just not college game day.
No,
he's been doing it for 38 years. I mean, which is insane.
That's crazy.
But like without the headgear, like respectfully, nobody should be putting on headgear after Lee Corso.
Yeah.
If somebody tries that, like
no one really has, because the time of when he was gone for a little bit. I mean, they found ways to have the show go on, but I mean, 40 years, nearly 40 years, as he says from his statement. It's just like seeing that this morning. I was working on a little project, and I just looked down my phone, and I just see Lee Corso retiring, and it just hit hard. Absolutely.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. College game day has been my favorite sports show for my entire life.
100%.
Yeah.
It goes college game
100%.
day, inside the NBA, and then nothing else really matters afterwards. So it's like seeing this happen is wild. And over the past year and a half to 2 years, really going back to COVID, they've started preparing us for the world without Lee Corso, bringing in guys like McAfee. There'll be some episodes where Corso wasn't there. So they're starting to show us what life would be like. So I knew this day was coming, but now that it's finally here,
I'm
heartbroken.
The day the music died, man.
Oh my gosh, the day the music died.
Week 1. It's going to be great.
Oh, the week 1 episode of College Game Day is going to shatter viewership records. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I love Lee Corso and everything he's done. And look, my dream is one day to be a member of the College Game Day show. So I know for a fact I'm shouting out Lee Corso the second I get on that microphone.
100%.
Lee Corso, I love you. You're one of the main reasons I fell in love with college football. It's gonna hurt watching that episode. It's gonna be very bittersweet, but shout out Lee Corso, man.
Yeah,
The GOAT.
it's so crazy that the people that we looked up to as kids are now kind of moving out of that role, and we're kind of stepping up, and our generation stepping up. It's so weird that we're at that age now.
It's not fun.
I'm telling you. I'm going to be on that stage very, very soon. I cannot wait for my first day on College Game Day.
I'm going to hold you to your word on that.
I might pull up in a jersey that has Coach Corso's name on the back.
Corso jersey?
No, not a Florida State.
You can buy those at the alma mater, though,
maybe just like a generic
Game Day could be in Tallahassee week 1.
You know what's funny? I actually don't mind Florida State, so I would rock a Florida State Corso jersey.
There we go.
I might have to do it my first day on the job.
There we go.
I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that.
Yes. Going back with the NCAA college football, so there has been a new rule change that the NCAA has come out with. John, I want you to kind of talk about this rule that is going to kind of prevent the fake injury concept we kind of see.
So what was announced is now, obviously we saw a huge thing last season of players faking injury, and really everyone was just like, hey, the ultimatum, the guy fakes it, he should be out for the series, right? Well, they didn't go with that, and I think what I read this morning was if you fake an injury and it shows that you are showing that you did not fake the injury, your team will be charged a timeout
or delay of game.
And then if you're out of timeouts, it's a 5-yard penalty automatically.
And just to add some extra context, people aren't just dropping dead and faking injuries just for the hell of it. They're doing
to stop momentum.
Exactly, they're doing this to stop momentum, especially like when you're facing like a fast-paced team. They're really starting to get going. They're driving. Your defense is tired. You need a break. You might just a coach might signal you to drop, or now players have gotten very smart recently.
They just
it's
do
like,
it.
all right, okay, I'm dropping. I got a cramp.
Right.
And just to slow it down. So before it wasn't a rule, I had no problem with it. It was a very smart thing to do for me.
That's what I think. Like
it was very smart.
There's no other way to stop momentum.
Exactly.
Like momentum's this. I don't even know how to describe momentum because it's so wild. You can't
momentum.
see it.
Right,
Like
it's just a thing that happens. Just the pendulum just swings in college sports,
and this was
especially
like,
college football.
This was like the only way to stop it. And I get why people would be mad, but like it's not so bad when you do it. So
Yeah, exactly. Like when it's your team that's hot, it's like, he shouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly.
But when it's the other way around, it's like, well, hold on a minute, he's hurt. Let's slow down. Let's stop the game. So I mean, like,
that voice.
That's how a lot of college football
SEC
fans
fan.
That's an SEC fan.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of dads were like, dang, he sound like me. But anyway, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, now that it's a rule against it, okay, cool. You got to stop doing it. But before there was a rule, it's my same stance I had with the torpedo bats. Work smarter, not harder. If it's not illegal, do it to your favor.
But what are they going to do, like, if, how are they really going to determine if someone fakes it? Because what if they fake the injury, but then they still, and they sit out, 3 plays, and then they go right back in?
Right. It's going to be very hard.
How can you be like, you're not hurt?
And that's the next thing I was going to say. So, I mean, do players just hide it better now?
Is it really?
Hey, they're going to have to start taking an acting class or an acting minor. They're going to have to.
But like Schrader said, are you going to be off for 3 plays? Pause. But but the thing is like, I guess you really don't want the key players on your defense being out for 3 plays.
Put a walk on in to fake an injury.
Exactly.
I'll do that. If you want to put me on scholarship, I will.
Right, a guy that's like pretty expendable.
Put me in there, coach.
Put me in, Coach Taylor.
Make it where only certain guys are available to drop down and fake injuries, because people are going to find ways around it. You're not going to be able to tell you were faking. No, this wasn't as serious as I thought.
This has
been
going
on. Was to come to
forever.
me and say I was faking my injury, I'd be like, no, I was hurt, but it ended up not being as serious as I once thought it was, so I re-entered the game. It's going to be very interesting to see, but they're doing everything to stop it. A lot of people are calling it the Lane Kiffin rule because Ole Miss tends to do it
Kiffin
more
is
than...
baffled.
They're calling it the Kiffin rule because a lot of people say Ole Miss does it more than anybody else out here.
Yeah.
But everybody's doing it.
Exactly.
Everybody's doing it. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network. Oh, this is the wrong one. My bad, everybody. Wolf Sports Network is looking to be the best in national and international awards for the 3rd year in a row. Our success and experience is made possible by Westwoods Apartments, the only off-campus housing that is 100% student living. No more living with your mom or other little kids around the apartment complex. More information is located at livewest.com and at livewest on Instagram. Once again, that is livewestwoods.com and livewestwoods on Instagram. Students, be sure to sign up early for your fall meal plan and get rewarded free coupon books valued at $150. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize coupons had that much going for them. I'm going to go ahead and sign up for my meal plan today. So sign up for a meal plan, whether it's the Pac 7 plan or the Pac 21, the Wolves plan, or the Pac 10 plan. Just be a part of the pack and sign up for your meal plan soon before the fall starts to get your free coupon book. And you know what's so funny? You're talking about the free coupon book. They did an Easter egg hunt day around campus. Now, I
heard about that.
It's very random. I know you heard it from me because I found 3 Easter eggs.
Yes, he did.
Man, I grabbed those Easter eggs. I was like, dang, there's an Easter egg out here. At first, I thought it was a joke.
It's the coolest
I
egg
kind of didn't
ever,
want to
too.
touch it. I was like, man, I hope it's not like laced with anything. But I pick it up, open the Easter egg. I was like, man, there's candy in here. And what? This a coupon? I got a La Luna coupon, which is our Mexican restaurant here on campus. It's kind of like Moe's, but some say better. I'm not that some. But then I also got a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. As a matter of fact, I have the other one in my pocket. It was I got a free chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A. Here go the thing right here. So be sure to sign up for your meal plan before the fall starts to get a book full of coupons just like this, worth up to $150 worth of food coupons here at UWG.
It's a lot of dollars.
Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick ad break, but when we get back, we're going to give you an update on that baseball game and also dive into the NFL draft because we are 1 week out. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack here on Wolf Sports Network, your home for all things UWG athletics.
It's a tale as old as time. All good things must come to an end. But this final ride is going to be legendary.
Oh, yeah.
More legendary than this.
Is this the dagger?
And this.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
So be sure to listen to Triple Threat every Friday starting at 11, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs.
Hugh Bertagine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
And our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network. On Sports Out of Pocket, we have a brand new segment called The Lottery, where we talk about the players that we're high on and low on. Like how we're high on Halliburton turning around this Pacers franchise, and how we're low on Bryce Young for sucking it up with the Panthers.
Whoa. Come on now. That wasn't his fault.
Okay, fair enough. But still, listen to The Lottery on Sports Out of Pocket for more opinions on young players in the league. Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesdays at 5, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Well, first we were a podcast to Wolf Sports Network's newest podcast. Then we turned into a live show.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the Triple Threat live show.
And this semester is our final ride. But don't worry, we're not going to stop with the action. From our debates in triple play and the best snake drops across the nation.
Dude, that's everybody's
Guess who's going first as my tight end? Brock Bowers.
No! You don't want to miss out, so tune in every Friday from 11 to 12, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm about to quickly throw you all over to Chase Jefferson and Jason Barker, who are currently doing live coverage for our UWG baseball game against the University of North Florida. Chase and Jason, welcome in, guys. How's the first inning been so far?
Yeah, man, absolutely insane first inning over here on Cole Field. This is Jason Barker coming out to you. We have an ace-to-ace matchup, as y'all alluded to, with Lane Pearson on the bump against Will Ross for the Ospreys. And man, oh man, you would not know it was an ace matchup going into that first inning. Very efficient, very quick first 2 outs there for Lane Pearson, but it all unfolded for him with 2 outs as Mike Collins and Colin and Cade Bush got on base before a bases clearing 2 RBI double and then error by Carter Deerdorf that was hit by Carter White in that inning. Chase?
Absolutely, and as Jason said, ace-to-ace matchup. We were expecting a little more of a pitcher's duel, but overall in this matchup, both the Ospreys and the Wolves are very evenly matched up when it comes to ace statistics. Both are sitting 7-8 right now. Ospreys with a 19-18 record. The Wolves sitting at 16-18. Both about the same on home runs and overall batting average. So this is a very well set up matchup here this weekend, and so far it's starting very offensively heavy.
And speaking of home runs, it was not only the Ospreys that got on the board early. It was Carter Deerdorf, who, shout out, is going to be on Triple Threat tomorrow morning.
Let's go.
Blasted a 2-run blast.
Love to hear
in the
it.
bottom of the second to tie it up. It is currently 2-2 as we look into the first batter in the top of the second, ladies and gentlemen.
That is
Lane
incredible.
Pearson.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
It was incredible. If you are not at Cole Field, listen, it's a good thing to be listening to Sports Pack. You continue to do it. As soon as you get the chance to get to Cole Field, I would get down here immediately.
Also, shout out to Joel Taylor bringing the entire football team out. This is a very packed crowd here at Cole Field. Probably the most filled I've seen the stadium.
Dang, we're going to need to get out there right after the show, too.
It is packed out, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful day for baseball, as Lane Pearson did just collect the first out of the inning. So, with that, I think that's all we have for you, and we will let y'all get back to y'all's regularly scheduled program of some Sports Pack.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you, Chase. For more of that, stay tuned. Be sure to stay tuned to Sports Pack, because after we run through this NFL and NBA segment, we are jumping right back in to get another update from Chase and Jason. Stay tuned. They are having a great time out there. I'm excited to get to the game after the show.
Day for baseball.
That was awesome.
Beautiful day for baseball. But now, let's talk some NBA playoffs.
Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Baby, let's talk some NBA. And we got a good bit of NBA to talk about as the first round of the play-in is over. The first game on this past Tuesday night, the Atlanta Hawks versus the Orlando Magic, where the Magic stomped out the Hawks and ran them out of the gym, beating the Atlanta Hawks 120-95. Now the Orlando Magic, that secures the 2 seed for the Orlando Magic, so now they'll face off against the Boston Celtics this upcoming weekend. Then the next play-in game, also this past Tuesday, saw the Memphis Grizzlies fall to the Golden State Warriors after an offensive explosion from Jimmy Butler with 38 points and Stephen Curry as well. The Grizzlies were in this game until the very end. Their leading scorer was Desmond Bane with 30 points and 8 rebounds, but they saw Ja Morant go down with some sort of an ankle injury towards the end of the game, and a lot of people say that is what lost the Grizzlies the game after what was a very entertaining first and second half. Now the Golden State Warriors with that win have punched their ticket to face the 2-seeded Houston Rockets. And after that, this past Wednesday, there were 2 more play-in games with the Miami Heat beating the Chicago Bulls, effectively eliminating them for the playoff. Now the Heat will have a date with the Atlanta Hawks to try to secure that 8 seed. And the Dallas Mavericks last night just beat the Sacramento Kings 120-106, and the Mavericks will now face off with the who am I thinking about? Oh, they'll face off against the Memphis Grizzlies to try to secure that 8 seed and face the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoff. The play-in tournament is still pretty confusing to me. It's not really confusing. It's just a lot to keep up with. It's weird. Those last 2 playoff games will be tomorrow night, and the official NBA playoffs will start Saturday afternoon, with the first game being the Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. We have a whole lot of exciting basketball coming up. Got the same cast here for this segment. No Lim today. Shout out Lim Boinga. He's been holding it down for us in basketball all semester, but he has some pressing matters to attend to, but it's all good. Our regular Sports Pack crew is going to hold it down.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into the standard playoffs here, what do you all see happening in these next 2 play-in tournament games, happening tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this. You know, as a Heat fan, the playoffs are like, that's Heat culture, right? We just find a way to get to the playoffs and to find success. And I'm really interested with this matchup against the Hawks, because the Hawks are, I would say the NBA.
No, we're mid.
But they're about professional sports poster child for mediocrity.
Yes.
And they find themselves, I'm pretty sure they were in this same position last year, where they were in the play-in. Past 5 years.
Yes, I've been looking. I am not happy with the Hawks.
Yeah, man. I mean, they either don't win in the play-in, they don't have much postseason success, but the Miami Heat, man, this is our first postseason in a while without playoff Jimmy. He'll be over in the Western Conference. We won't get him this season. And so I'm really interested to see how the Heat are going to play in this postseason, especially in this play-in game, right? This is a Game 7, essentially, to see how they're going to do without him. Tyler Herro stepped up.
Oh, yeah. Tyler Herro's turning into a star.
Dude, 38 points. You got Bam down there in the paint just getting boards. Yep. I mean, you got a lot of guys that want to win. It's what the Heat do in the postseason. So I'm really excited as a Heat fan.
I get it's another play-in tournament, gives us a shot at the playoffs, but I'm kind of sick of the Hawks. I'm kind of sick of the past 5 years of just being mid. Other than the one wonderful year, the 1 year we did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we had the glimpse of hope, the magical run. That was awesome. I remember that. But I'm sick of it. Like I want the Hawks to succeed, man, and just to be here. Let me read the records off. Right now, 40 and 42, 36 and 46, 41-41, 43 and 39, 41-31, and then before that it was 20 and 47.
Are those the records, the Hawks record for the past 5 years?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. If we lose tonight, wow, I'm not surprised. Great, we lost. Woohoo.
I mean,
I'm done with the Hawks.
The Hawks
I'm done
can
with
just
this.
surround Trey with somebody, man.
Yeah.
Like they're ruining Trey. Like if they're not going to put anybody around him, they just need to trade the man.
The Hawks refuse to get aggressive in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
They get Trey and a few like decent role players, guys that maybe were stars for like a half of a season 3.5 years ago. They just refuse to go out and get actual superstar talent to surround Trey Young with.
Yep.
The time was a few years back when Paul George was originally available, not this past cycle, but a few cycles before that. Go out and get a guy like Paul George or somebody else like that can come in and move off ball and contribute. But now, don't nobody want Paul George anymore after the season with the 76ers. And I'm not really sure who else may come available. This offseason, Kevin Durant will be available, but I highly doubt he's going to go to the Atlanta Hawks. I'm hearing a lot of reports saying that him and the Rockets both have mutual interest. I know he goes to the club out there in Houston a lot, so I'm sure he likes it out there. But, I mean, who knows, man? The Hawks have a lot they need to change. Zachary, the first overall pick from this past year, has been starting to shine at the end of this season.
He's had really good moments this
right,
year.
A lot of some Hawks fans, I think Chase and Andrew Jefferson from Sports Out of Pocket both said they think they could see him in the Rookie of the Year conversation because he really cut things on in the second half. So he's looking up, but the Hawks really need to really get aggressive in free agency if they want to escape this endless loop of consistent mediocrity. It's ridiculous. Now, looking at this other play-in series, the Dallas Mavericks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. At one point, the Grizzlies were sitting at the 2 seed in the West. They've been on the tailspin after. They're also another team like the Nuggets that fired their head coach midway through the season. And things have been up and down and really down since they made that move. And the Dallas Mavericks, we all know about them. They traded away Luka Doncic. A lot of people are outraged. Kyrie Irving tore his ACL, has been out for the rest of the season. But this past game, they got a vintage Klay Thompson performance. And even on a bad shooting night, Anthony Davis found a way to drop 27 points, which is how they made it past the team they just faced the other day, to the Kings to square off against the Grizzlies tomorrow night. So when I look at this series, the winner of this game will have to go on to face the Oklahoma City Thunder. The team with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A lot of people are penciling him in as MVP. I said I was at one point, but now Jokic got me doubting myself, especially after debating Andrew a couple days ago. He really got gears turning. I'm really not sure if he has my vote anymore. But in the day, the Oklahoma City Thunder have been the best team in basketball all season.
Right.
So either the Mavericks or the I don't know why I keep blanking. Either the Mavericks or the Grizzlies are gonna have to face that team. What kind of a chance do you really give either of those teams to overcome the OKC Thunder in a 7-game series?
I mean, when you look at the trade, right, the trade that shocked the world with Luka going to the Lakers, I think we said the only way that you're going to see the Mavericks really benefit from this trade is in the short term, is sooner rather than later. And so if they're going to take AD, right, because AD, Klay Thompson, I mean, they don't have Kyrie anymore, but, like, they're not necessarily a bad team right now. So I think they could get it done. I highly doubt it. Like, the Thunder are the Thunder, right? At one point, they were the best graded team in NBA history, which is insane. And I don't know too much about the Grizzlies, aside from the fact that
a lot of offense,
they got Ja. So, I mean, I guess they're a Pac-12 team over there.
Exactly.
Rest in peace. But, I mean, I like the Mavericks from the experience side, because that's really what the Thunder, they lack that experience. They got a little bit of it last year, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, could go either way.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see it. It's going to be difficult to see them doing that. Last year when they knocked the Thunder out to advance to the Western Conference Finals, it was largely because of Luka, who averaged over 30 in the playoffs that year, alongside Kyrie Irving, who averaged around 25. They're without both of those stars. Can Klay Thompson really continue to produce the way he did the other night? I highly doubt it, but we'll see. Only time will tell. Now, Carly, I do want to toss it over to you, because your hometown Denver Nuggets have a big-time series as the 4 seed against the 5th-seeded L.A. Clippers. How do you feel about the Nuggets' odds going into this series?
You know, this is a really interesting matchup because both of these teams have been really like neck and neck in terms of how they've played other opponents. But when it came to playing each other, the Clippers totally dominated the Nuggets back in January. So, and especially after the Nuggets just fired their head coach very shortly before the playoffs started. Like, if you don't have a sound team together, and that includes the coaching staff, I don't think you're going to get very far. If they do, that's an incredible miracle that I don't think anyone has ever seen before.
Right.
But I mean, I literally saw footage of Jokic literally like drawing up plays in the middle of a game. So, which good for him for stepping up to the plate. But as much as I want to have faith in this Denver Nuggets team, I'm not sure if they can do it just because they don't have a strong leadership.
I'm with you 100%, Carly, and it's very interesting. It's very flawed to put your team in this sort of a situation as ownership, as upper management, whoever made the call to fire Mike Malone. It's a very weird situation to put them in. I understand if you want to get rid of them, but wait until after the season.
Right, and they were doing
very well. They've been doing very
So-
well all year. Defensively, they've struggled, but they're still sitting at the 4 seed.
Right.
And like you said, Carly, now you have people like Jokic having to step up and play pretend coach because there really isn't a head guy in there.
Yep.
You just kind of shook up the team's chances here, and maybe they will pull up a amazing run and win the whole thing. But from a logic standpoint, it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
You need a coaching staff that is fully embedded in this team, and removing the captain from the ship as they're heading into battle is a recipe for disaster in my eyes. Now, we're 1 week away from the NFL draft. We got to talk about this. In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty. Yep. And dynasties are built right here in the NFL draft. You know, you see a lot of free agency acquisitions and other things of that nature, but the primary things start in the NFL draft. That's where Tom Brady was picked, won the 6th round by the New England Patriots. What was it, pick 199?
99 or 98.
I think it was 199. 199 just has a smoother sound to it. Welcome on my dog, Michael Miller, who's dressed up, just played in the Masters earlier today.
Yeah, he's out in Augusta.
How you feeling, Michael?
I'm feeling good, but I had a heartbreaking day of golf, though.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
I'm down. I was about to set my own record and get 5 pars in a row.
Uh-huh.
And then I was in the sand. I almost Bryson DeChambeau'd it and holed out. The ball ended up 2 feet away from the hole. It was depressing.
That is tragic right there, Michael. But
Sorry,
you know what?
buddy. It happens.
Let's talk about something a little more upbeat. Like I said, the NFL draft is 1 week away. On Monday's show, your guy Phillip had a pretty steaming hot take. He said he's not too high on Shedeur Sanders. He said he thinks Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart are both second-round picks. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying what he said. I am just the messenger. I do not agree with him in any way, shape, or form. I think 3 quarterbacks are going off the board in the first round. That is Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and Jackson Dart in that order. But that is making me think, Michael, what is your NFL draft hot take?
Okay. I'm not 100% convinced I would do this if I was Tennessee, but I would definitely think about it. I think that if I were the Titans, I would consider trading that number 1 pick and dropping later in the draft and getting Jackson Dart in the first round instead. Because I'm not fully convinced that Cam Ward is like a bona fide number 1 pick, in my opinion.
Wow.
I think he's really good, but I'm not 100% convinced.
So does this mean you have a higher draft grade on Jackson Dart than Cam Ward? Because you're still trading back and getting a quarterback, or do you think they'd be better off, or do you think it's more so like they need a quarterback, but they also have more holes to fill?
I think you need a quarterback. I think they have more holes. Like I think Jackson Dart is good enough to where like if you were to trade that pick, I would feel great having him after the first round because I think he's really, really good. Cam Ward, I don't think is just like the way I describe it is like, you know how everyone was like so high on Trevor Lawrence that everyone wanted him. Like I think it like for Jacksonville that was an untradeable pick, or like Joe Burrow the year he came out. I don't feel like Cam Ward is that way. I think you could gain more with either getting more draft picks or getting more pieces, and then getting Jackson Dart would be a better option.
You know, I can understand that because it's like you said, when guys like Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow were coming out, like you said, it was a lock. It was like you're not moving from that pick. These are guys you have to get. But I will say this. I'm extremely high on Cam Ward, but I agree with you. As a prospect, he's not as highly touted as those guys were, so it would definitely be possible for Tennessee to move out of it. I don't think it's entirely ridiculous because they do have other holes to fill on this team. And if they could find a potential trade partner, move around and get multiple first-round picks and still be able to get a very good quarterback in Jackson Dart, I do feel it could be worth it in the long term. Before we move on from that, do you have any teams in mind that you feel could be possible trade partners?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think like who would like or who really needs a quarterback that has the pieces to like move for a number 1 pick. I feel like maybe New York. I know they just signed 2 quarterbacks, but maybe they feel like, you know, they just want to get that quarterback right so badly they just are willing to give up more pieces. Or maybe they could use one of those quarterbacks in a trade.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. If you grab New York, have them do a pick swap, the Titans move down to 3, the Giants move up to number 1, they could give Russell Wilson to the Tennessee Titans. He did a visit out there with them, use Jameis Winston as the bridge guy, and then use that first overall pick to draft Cam Ward. I could really, really, really see that happening. That way the Titans have their quarterback. The Giants do as well with Cam Ward. It'd be a win-win situation for both teams. I'd be better off if I was the Titans getting Cam Ward, a younger option, because if you do have Russell Wilson, you're going to have to get another quarterback down the road. But I don't entirely hate that, Michael. I really like the way you're thinking right there. So I have another question for you. The Atlanta Falcons pick at pick number 15. You really got me thinking with that last pick, so I really appreciate it. So now I want to know, what is the perfect pick for the Atlanta Falcons at number 15?
I think at 15, if you can get Mike Green, I would like that. I like him a lot. I think if Micah Williams is still there, I'm a Georgia fan, so I love Micah Williams.
Me too.
I like James Pierce. I don't know where he's really been lately on these mock drafts, but I feel like he's probably going to be around.
He's been later.
He's been like the 15 to 25 range consensus.
Yeah, I like him too. Now, ideally, I would like us to be aggressive and trade up to try to get Jalen Walker. I think that'd be the best move for us. But if we're going to sit at 15, either Mike Green or Micah Williams would be my two.
If the Falcons were to move up for a guy like Jalen Walker, who just dominated at his pro day today, I actually saw him at G-Day at the tailgate this past weekend. Massive human being. If he had to, he could play offensive line. That guy is huge. Runs like a 4.5, 4.6. That's probably the craziest athletic specimen I have ever seen in my life in person. So if the Falcons were to move up to try to get a guy like Jalen Walker, how far up do you think they have to move?
I think you'd have to get up to at least like 7 or 8. Yeah. I think at the very least. I mean, if you could be more aggressive, maybe get like that 6 slot, then I would try and do it. But I would at least, I think it's worth, even if he might be gone, I think it's worth moving up if you can pull off a trade for 7 or 8.
I feel like the highest you could go really without having to put too much on the table, even though that's a lot to move up to. I think as long as you jump the Panthers and the Saints, your division rivals, as long as you can jump them, I think you can get them there. I can see these teams having the need for a guy like Jalen Walker, but at the same time, I don't think that's their primary focus. So I feel like if we get, my thing is we're trading up, get ahead of division rivals, because that's one thing I always remember. Sometimes the Bucs will trade ahead of us, the Saints will trade ahead of us, and I despise it. I remember the first time I ever did when I fully watched the NFL draft. So if we can jump them and just get that that key player for a guy like Jalen Walker, then yeah, let's do it.
Richard, where did you have Sanders in your mock draft?
In my most recent mock draft, I have Shedeur Sanders going 9th overall to the New Orleans Saints.
9th? Okay.
Yeah. I really feel like the Saints are a safe pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've really been kind of starting to rub shoulders a lot. He took a visit down to New Orleans, said he really enjoyed it. Dion's really liking the prospect of him going to New Orleans, continuing to wear that black and gold. And also, Alvin Kamara spent some time in Colorado I think it was sometime last week. He spent a couple days out there in Boulder. He visited the state of Colorado, went to a couple practices with Colorado, was just out there showing face, hanging out, rubbing shoulders with Deion Sanders. I really feel like it'll be a match made in heaven with Shedeur going 9th overall to the Saints. Excuse me, I could see him going earlier, maybe at 3 to the Giants, but their quarterback room is pretty full right now. So unless they move one of those guys, I feel like they go in after kind of like the best player available, getting a guy like Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter to add that already stacked D-line. So I'm looking at 9th overall to the Saints. I'm hearing that Derek Carr might be out for the season with some sort of weird shoulder injury that's developed over the offseason. So I think Shedeur Sanders going 9th overall to the New Orleans Saints will be a match made in heaven. I forgot to say, young head coach and Kellen Moore coming off a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles where he was their offensive coordinator. We've seen him have a lot of success with quarterbacks from Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott. So I feel like putting Shedeur Sanders in that system with him, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, I feel like in due time that could be a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it would definitely be a really good recipe for success, as much as I don't want the Saints to have a recipe for success. But still, I like that. I completely forgot that Kellen Moore was the OC at Dallas. I completely forgot that as well, because I remember when he went to the Chargers. Was he the Chargers head coach for a little?
He was the Chargers offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. I thought he was head coach for some reason.
Yeah, he was.
But
the OC.
Still, I mean, that's
year before last.
Yeah, that's a really good plan you sold me on right there. I do like that, Richard.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well. And before we end this segment, I want to double back to what you said a minute ago, Michael. If the Falcons are to move up from 15, I feel like the perfect spot would be either at number 6 or number 7. I feel like the Jets may stick at 7 because they like their flexibility. They could get Tyler Warren, who's might be one of the best athletes in this draft at tight end. He's like a Taysom Hill, but even bigger and even more athletic. So I feel like the Jets really want to get him there. But then you look at 6 to the Raiders. they're a team that's already starting to fill in holes on their roster. They already have quarterback at Geno. They extended him. I feel like they won't look to draft a guy until maybe next season. So if the Falcons can maybe move from 15, do a pick swap with the Raiders, get up to the 6th overall pick, maybe grab a guy like Jalen Walker right there, because a lot of people have him mocked going 8th to the Panthers. So I feel like that 6th spot will be safe. Pick swap with the Raiders, maybe throw in one of those 2 second-round picks that the Falcons have just to even it out some. Get Jalen Walker. And another rumor is that Jalen Ramsey is looking for the door in Miami. I read an article the other day saying they had a mutual agreement to part ways, and I saw a thing on Twitter, who knows how true it was, that Jalen Ramsey has been spotted in Atlanta.
I saw the same
he has
thing.
a great relationship with head coach Raheem Morris from his time as a DC in LA. So if you can find a way to move up, grab Jalen Walker, or stay put and get Mike Green. Just either way, get your linebacker or edge rusher in this draft and find a way to grab Jalen Ramsey opposite side of A.J. Terrell in that secondary. This Falcons team could be ready to win the NFC South and compete for an NFC championship today. I am so ready for this draft because the Falcons have the opportunity to do something incredible. And I am so ready to see it. Jalen Ramsey, get yourself in here. We'd love to have you on for an interview. You will be the perfect Atlanta Falcon. Now, look, I just got really excited there for a second because I'm really hyped about this.
Really felt that one in the headphones, Richard.
Man, I'm sorry for yelling, but I got super excited out of nowhere because I just kind of sold myself on that idea. That would be a match made in heaven. But you know what else is a match made in heaven? The hoodie I bought the other day at the Wolf Sports Network merch store. It was the perfect fit. The material was great, made by Ozier Apparel right down the street in Carrollton. It was incredible. So if you want to find the perfect outfit for you, the perfect thing to really make that outfit pop, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com, click the About button in the top right corner of the screen, and click Merch Store, and scroll through the endless, what seems like an endless amount of things that we have: T-shirts, polos, hoodies, hats, beanies. I think we got some socks on there if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it is that you want and need, you can find on that merch store. And if there is something uber specific that you were looking for, like a Wolf Sports Network diaper, DM us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network. And if you followed us before you texted us that, we just may put it in the store for you. Now, stay tuned, because when we get back, we're going to give you another live update from Chase and Jason at the West Georgia baseball game, and we're also going to talk some MLB. Stay tuned. This is Sports Back on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack every Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio are coming together for the concert event of the year.
Wolfstock, baby!
That's right, Wolfstock is back with great music and fun games and a great time for everyone around. April 21st, 6 to 9 in the Campus Center Ballroom. So come out for a good time. Wolfstock 2025 is brought to you by Flagship Carrollton, Dine West, The Orchard, Illuminated Productions, and American Pie Pizzeria.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Bootleg Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Bootleg Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs.
Hugh Bertagine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
And our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Let me tell you all about this new show that's going to be on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all college basketball, football, and baseball. Every Tuesday at 6. The Playbook, only on Wolf Sports Network. Man, this beat brings back memories.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for staying tuned in to Sports Pack right here on Wolf Sports Network. We have another live update from the West Georgia baseball game versus the University of North Florida with our guys Chase Jefferson and Jason Barker holding it down. What's going on, guys? How's the game looking so far?
Hey, man, it has been a great game, and it's been a great show of Sports Pack, too. It's been great to listen in.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
At the same time, y'all are doing a fantastic job.
Oh, come on now.
Action has continued to go on here as the score is now 4-3 with the Ospreys up, but it started. How did it start? Partner?
Well, it started very offensive heavy. We were actually just talking about it. Both the Ospreys and the Wolves had their bullpen going already here in the bottom of third. It looks like it's going to be a very surprising early exit by ace Lane Pearson and ace Will Ross. But it's just been a very offensive heavy up and down the order for both the Wolves and the Ospreys. So
yeah, and we said a little bit in the open that it was going to be a back and forth type of game, and it definitely has, but in a completely different way than what we thought. It was Jacob Bowman who grounded into a double play, actually, that secured an RBI after Tyler Presnell led off the second inning with a double, followed by Hank Smith, who was able to get that single. Runners on the corners. It was a traditional 6-4-3 double play that scored that run, but like we just said, it was Cade Bush with an RBI single, then followed by Drew Leinenbach of the Ospreys. Yeah, absolutely. Where that just happened just moments ago to give the Ospreys a lead as the shadows start to settle over Cole Field as the sun starts to peek underneath the trees.
You know, but I will say Lane Pearson hasn't been getting a lot of help from his infielders, especially Jacob Bowman, who has 2 errors, I believe. No, excuse me, two, I wouldn't say errors, but he bobbled the ball twice. They weren't listed as errors. But then also in the first inning, we had the first baseman, Carter Deerdorf, who had an error throwing the ball way across the head of Hank Smith, with that eventually brought in a run. So though Lane Pearson is allowing a lot of contact, he's not getting a lot of help behind him. It's just been a very eyesore-type game defensively for the Wolves.
Jack Whitmer just got another stolen base on the day, and we are seeing something right now very similar to what we saw in the bottom of the first inning. We do have Carter Deerdorf up to bat right here. He pops the ball back. It'll be foul, making the count 1-1. But, yeah, we will see what's going to go on here in the bottom of the third inning now.
And before we send it back to you, here's your Cole Field fun fact of the day.
Ooh.
The visiting bullpen has a wide open gate in right field, and if you slap the ball into the gate, if it's in fair territory, it's a ground rule double, because that is just a beautiful feature of Cole Field.
Now, Jason,
that is incredible.
Hold on, before I leave, I was got to ask, just for the people, what's the kind of the key for the Wolves out there today? What can we do to win to make sure we really solidify Game 1 here on Thursday?
Well, really, now it's going to be on the backs of the bullpen, it seems. I mean, I think that Lane Pearson is going to go out for more work, but it's really odd to see Lane get touched up the way he has been in these first 3 innings, as Deerdorf does ground that over to the second baseman. Gets the runner over to third, though, with only 1 out. So I like the Wolves' odds to score a run here, as we have Cooper Prince, as y'all all know, the leader in batting average coming up for the Wolves. But with that, we will send it back over to y'all for more Sports Pack.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you, Chase. Hey, and all you listening to the show right now, be sure to stay tuned, because the second we get done here at Sports Pack in a few minutes, we are throwing you right over to that game where you can follow along with Jason Barker and Chase Jefferson for the remaining innings of that West Georgia baseball game. They are out there doing amazing coverage and enjoying every second of it. Also, if you're in the area, be sure to swing by the Cole Field. The game's free, and obviously it's an offensive onslaught. And who doesn't like offensive baseball, right, guys?
Well, it's a lot of fun, you know. So,
speaking of, the Atlanta Braves are currently sitting at 5-13 with a 2-11 away record. Oof. I just took a look at Andrew behind the glass, and he was not happy at all. His smile went away very, very fast. So, Michael, as one of our baseball experts here at Wolf Sports Network, walk me through what you've been seeing with this Braves team, and do you think anything is gonna help it?
It's gonna change. It's gonna get better. This team is there's too much talent on it to not make a wild card spot. Mm-hmm. I think you can kind of kiss the division goodbye. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to win the division. I know it's 18 games in. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they'll be a wild card team, but like the issue with this team in particular is it's a coaching problem. Mm-hmm. It is such a coaching problem. The bullpen is terrible, so that's another issue.
Hey,
the bullpen
you're not
is
wrong.
awful. There's nobody in that pen except for Raisel Iglesias. But in terms of hitting, like, I feel like if you can fix Matt Olson's swing, which he has a fundamental issue, I don't know what it is, but his swing is not the same as it was his first 2 years here, and this has been going on for 2 years. I feel like if you can fix him, then everybody else will start clicking because everybody else is kind of doing their normal thing to a degree. He's just so off, and I don't really understand it.
So do you think that coaching issue that you just alluded to is just something that the talent will just be able to overcome over time?
I think so. Tim Hires, he was our hitting coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to figure out
He's
what's
a brand new hire.
Exactly.
He was supposed to be the guy.
Answer, exactly. He's got to figure out what's wrong with Olsen's swing. I cannot stress how much I feel like if you just fix him and get him going, I think everybody else will follow because he's the one in 2023 he hit 54 home runs. He was the one that kept everybody going.
He was the leader.
And now he just I mean every time you see him get a fastball, he's sitting there first pitch of every at bat, it's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle and he's swinging through it. Wow. And that was not what he was doing.
Exactly. When you're a guy like Matt Olson that, like you said a couple years ago, had 54 home runs in a single season, that's not what you do. Listen, man, I don't really know what to say about this. John, what have you seen?
Look, bats just got to get better. I know today we sent Brian De La Cruz down to bring up Alex Verdugo, who we signed in the offseason, one of the late splashes, which, I mean, I hope that can help us. I don't know at this point. Plus, I mean, Strider returned this week, but the whole thing is Strider, he pitched 5 innings. He didn't pitch bad, but our run support's not there. And that's just the one thing. I will go to CBS every single day, and I'll go to the Braves, and I'll go to stats. And I'll see that batting average slowly rise, but it's not even above 240 right now. And I just see that batting, I just say, wow, this batting sucks.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen the Atlanta Braves last in the National League East, which is surprising. But you know what's not surprising? My Colorado Rockies still last in the National League West. But hey, at least we're last together. So glad you guys are here with us.
I don't like hearing that.
I don't think we're
like that one,
too
Jim.
used to that. Man, I don't. Yeah, Chuck. I guess we can keep each other company for now, but we're not looking to be here much longer.
Okay.
Hopefully that batting coach can get things together, like Michael just alluded to, so we can get out of that last in the league talk with you. But before we go, I just need to remind you all that college students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or a project as a result of drinking. That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind students that drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculties will not take hangovers as excuses. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. If you didn't know, we have a pre-K right here at UWG where all sorts of professors drop their kids off during the day, and they need books to read because, listen, man, you'd be surprised how many folks out here walking around really can't read. They can't read one page of a Harry Potter book, just like 50 Cent infamously said to Floyd Mayweather a couple years back. So, to help remedy that, give today by visiting wolfradio.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. That is wolfradio.com/book drive. Now, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Sports Pack today. As Carly said at the beginning of the show, we will not be live Monday because of Wolf Stock, but don't be discouraged because we will be live twice next week still, as we'll be going live on Thursday for our Thursday edition of Sports Pack, and right after that, an hour later at 8 p.m., we'll be live for the entirety of the first round of the NFL draft
in our annual be great.
Exactly, in our annual Wolf Sports Network draft show. You do not want to miss out. It is going to be incredible. Now, stay tuned. That's all we got for Sports Pack, but we're throwing you right over to Chase Jefferson and Jason Barker with the remainder of West Georgia versus the University of North Florida. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great night.